Well, here we go again. It's about, I think it's 9 o'clock-ish. Is it 9 o'clock? Yeah, about 10 after 9. Should have been down here a whole lot sooner, but we're gonna give the old girl a snort. Should have been down here a whole lot sooner today, but got down to the elevator. They opened at 8. I was down there at 7:45. I was the 5th truck in line. And it doesn't matter if... Holy shit. It's like we got a light snow. Where was I? Oh yeah. And the way that place works, it doesn't matter if they have 1 truck in line or 100. When they say they're going to open up at a time, they were going to open up at 8 o'clock. They weren't going to open up at 7:59. They weren't going to open up at 8:01. It was going to be 8 o'clock. Oh no. That's not good. Huh. But anyway, let her sit for a minute. They opened up at 8 o'clock. They let 3 trucks through, and then me and the guy in front of me, and by that point there was about 15 trucks behind me. We sat there for 20 minutes while they did God knows what, and I didn't get through the inbound scale until 8:25. So, good times. Well, that's weird. I don't have jumper cables neither. Shit, this just ain't my morning. Blower motor went out on my truck, so I had heat, but it took a while for it to get there because there was no blower motor. Got back to the house to grab the tool bag and the grease gun, and found I had a small radiator leak. It can't be that bad because they're still cooling in the overflow, so hopefully it'll make it through the rest of the season. Just have to keep an eye on it. And now this thing doesn't want to fucking start. Hope that's not a sign of things to come for the rest of the damn day. Well, Dad's bringing a set of jumper cables down from 19. I guess that's what I get for saying yesterday, is that thing will start no matter what. I guess I should have seen it coming because the batteries in that thing just randomly died once this summer after sitting for a couple of weeks. So I guess this doesn't come as too much of a surprise. she just wanted to be a pain in the butt this morning. Dad brought down a set of jumper cables. I hooked it up to the combine. I probably only let it sit and charge for a minute. Bumped the key. I don't think this thing rolled over a whole revolution and was running. Apparently this just ain't our day, because Dad got down here. Water pump's going out in his grain truck. It's leaking, so I told him just dump it and take it back to the barn and park it. There ain't no sense in hurting the damn thing. Which we knew about that last weekend. It started going out, and he was trying to get it fixed before this weekend. Well, he went to Napa, ordered a water pump, got it Thursday, I think he said. It was wrong damn water pump. Firstly, I don't know how a water pump for a 366 Chevy isn't just an on-the-shelf part, because it's a damn 366. Those things are everywhere. And secondly, how do you order the wrong water pump? So he got a new one coming, but it's not going to be here till this coming Thursday. And then, just to add insult to injury, he walked out in the garage this morning to a puddle of water underneath his pickup. The water pump on his pickup went out last night. This just ain't our day. Must be a Halloween thing. Take the truck down in the field because it's kind of soft, and you can't park the truck out in the road because, well, you don't park the truck out in the road. There we go. there's one truckload back there. I'll be impressed. The weeds. Well, I don't know what came first. If it was a piss poor population, and then the weeds got in there and choked out what was left. If the weeds were there and that's what caused it. Either way, there's just not a whole lot back there. The weeds are bad. Mind you, that ground down there was sprayed twice. I sprayed it once about 3 weeks after I planted it, and then about 3 weeks later I had my buddy's dad bring his rogator down there and spray it again, because what the stuff that I sprayed on at the first round just pissed them weeds off. So Muck has a very steep learning curve, and when I came down there this year I knew just enough about it to be dangerous. And let's just say that this year everything that could possibly go wrong on that type of ground did go wrong, and boy did I learn the curve. Basically, weather's nice, don't get cocky and think you can plant down here before Memorial Day, because chances are you're going to get screwed, which I did, and I got screwed. You got to be Johnny on the spot with weed control, which in a normal situation probably wouldn't actually be that hard, but everything down there is resistant to something because of the guy that farmed it before me. Love the guy to death, but weed control was not his thing. So I inherited a shit show, and I didn't realize just how much of a shit show I inherited. And next year, my weed control strategy is going to take on an entirely different look. I'm going to spray it after the corn gets up, and then once it's tall enough to get over it with a cultivator without having to run shields, as long as it's dry enough to get over it and not make a mess, that ground's getting cultivated. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's getting cultivated if I can get over it. Because with all the resistant shit down there, spraying is only going to do so much. You're going to have to throw some steel at it, get the weed bank, or get the seed bank knocked down, and then eventually it might be able to just be taken care of by spraying. Now, the other thing I'm fighting is that ground is not tile. Two sections across the road, then the guy's farm, the farm all the ground down there I was talking about, all that ground is either has ditches or is under tile, or over tile. It's got tile in it. And it's got control gates on the tile so they can control the water level, which not only helps them being able to get over it in a more timely manner because they get the ground dried out, it also helps them with the weed control, because I don't care what type of ground it is, if it's ground that lays wet, you are going to fight having weeds on it, just because herbicides have to have a way to degrade over time. It's part of one of the rules of having herbicide. Oh, we are stuck behind somebody. I wonder how the hell I caught up to that. two main ways to degrade a herbicide are photo degradation, which is through exposure to sunlight over time, or water solubility. Eventually water breaks it down over time. If you're spraying on wet ground, the effectiveness of your herbicide has automatically been cut. Doesn't matter. So that was a problem down there too, is that shit just got wet. And then it got too dry, and as much as you fight muck being wet, once muck gets dry, it is dry. Like, it's worse than blow sand. So muck is kind of a double-edged sword. It's kind of like 5-minute dirt. It's either too wet or it's too dry. If you have a normal season, it's really nice dirt. If you have this extreme bullshit like we had this year, where it was too damn wet, and then too damn dry, and then too damn wet again, that's where you have issues. But regardless, if I had to learn a lesson about farming that time of ground, this was the year to do it, because like I say, everything that could have possibly went wrong on me. So next year we won't get caught like that. Anyway, get these things down to the elevator, get them empty, get back, finish shelling that, and hopefully got enough time to run everything home and at least go back and get the stalks chopped tonight. So I guess we'll catch you here in a little bit. Well, this is nice. They're lined up all the way up to the silos. Dandy. Well, we're done. Yeah. And I was right. All those short rows back there behind the house, this is all we got off of it. That was bad. Long rows did pretty good, short rows not so much. But that side of the field is also the side that lays the wettest. There was a spot there I couldn't even get replanted because it was still standing full of water when I came down here to replant. But I was going to come down here and chop stalks, which may or may still not get done tonight, but we got enough daylight left. I'm gonna go shell another field, so we're gonna go ahead and get moved around here. Although this combine ain't leaving this field until it gets blown off, because I do not want to take any of this damn seed with me when I leave. Unfortunately, the field I'm going to is going to be pretty shitty too, but it's all got to get done. So anyway, we're going to get shuffled around, and we will see you guys probably at the next field. Well, because I'm a sucker for disappointment, and since it was on the way home from that other field, we're going to stop and do this 4 acres here that I got the video replanting. Surprise, surprise, it don't look good, it didn't turn out for shit, but there's something here anyway. obviously done yet, but I'm at a part, I got this field split in such a way that I want to illustrate a point here real quick before all the trolls go off all full cocked and calling me a terrible farmer and whatnot, because I ain't getting shit for yield this year. So from, yeah, well, you see about where the sun's touching the corn right there on the tip of my finger. From there back through here, I basically had to replant the entire back part of this field, and then I had to patch in some stuff across that hill where it dips down. So all this back here is replant. Granted, the ears aren't huge, which for replant you can't really ask for much more. At least there's something here. But notice the stalks are healthy. You know, it's fairly tall. It's about 8 foot tall. Population's decent. Now, this field, obviously you can tell right there, that's a wet spot. That is always wet. I have never got anything to grow in that spot. Never. Even if I plant through that spot, which I've done before, it always floods out and nothing ever grows there. My wheat field, I don't know why Dad's bringing the cart. I told him I had this. Anyway, my wheat field is over on the other side of them trees, and if you recall, I have a big wet spot in the middle of that wheat field. Well, that's because right through that fence line, from here down through that field on the other side of the fence line, there's a spring or some shit that runs through right here that keeps this, I mean, you can tell right now it's damp. This spot is always wet. So after I got this planted and we had our drought, this spot up here stayed wet. The corn took off, got its feet underneath it, did okay. Same thing down in front. That always lays wet because that hill drains down there. And the corn up there, from about halfway up this hill all the way to the front, except for that blow sand hill up in the front where the deer tore the hell out of it. Actually, that might be wind damage, because it doesn't, I'm not saying the deer didn't get into it, but that might be wind damage up there, because it just looks like a tornado touchdown and shit scattered everywhere. But regardless, from about halfway up down that hill to the front, the corn looks like this. You get into the center here, where this field gets really damn dry when it gets dry, and I ain't got shit. Although I am impressed with this hybrid. This stuff took a beating and it really tried its damnedest. There's every stalk out here has an ear. It's not much of an ear, but it's an ear. I mean, this shit tried hard, so I can't knock the hybrid any. But because I got planted, it sprouted, and then basically we lost all of our moisture. It sprouted, died. The stuff that had an okay root system is the stuff you see here that took off. But basically no plant population, the ground stayed dry, and because I never had any canopy from low plant population, you couldn't keep the damn weeds out of it. And this field, because it's so damn dramatic because of the wet spot there and the wet spot there and the way the corn grew, this field is a perfect illustration of the shit I had to put up with for weather conditions this year. It helps explain the corn. I still can't explain how the hell the beans did so good. But anyhow, I guess Dad's gonna be here for a while to help me finish this up. I don't know why, because it's only probably doing like 75 bushel an acre. But anyhow, explanation out of the way. Let's hurry up and get this damn field finished. Well, it's only a truckload, but at least it's a decent truckload. That pile will shake down where it's level full. Not a very good showing for 4 acres. But at least it's something. Could be worse. Could be those guys out in Iowa that all they're getting this year is a insurance check because over the span of an hour, Derrico laid everything they had flat on the ground. So and I did get, that has some really nice, clean, good-looking corn, and it has to be heavy. Because unless it was just excessively wet, which I was biting it, the starch felt like powder, so it can't be much, it can't be, it's got to be around at least 20, but it was heavy. So hopefully the test weight on that's good. That'll be a little bit more consolation, so I just hope everybody appreciates the balls it takes to put a crop failure like this on the internet for somebody to criticize all day long, but like I've said before, we show the good and bad around here, so could have been worse. It's better than 21 bushel an acre like them first fields we ran. So anyway, I'm gonna run this over the house, fuel it up, put it back in the barn, and go from there. So that's it for this one. We'll catch you all on the next one.